It's hard to open up about how you're feeling because it always turns out badly. What is the worst thing about being a man? Always being seen as a creepy person even though we're not trying to be. I was a collegiate swimmer and long-time lifeguard. As such, I also taught a lot of swim lessons and continued doing that well into my 30s. Nearly every year after I started college, without fail, there would be a handful of moms who wouldn't want me teaching their kid because an adult man working around children is very obviously a creep. Now they wouldn't quite say that, but you always could read between the lines when parents would ask their kid be given a different instructor. What makes this even worse is that kids need to see men in nurturing roles like child care, primary school teaching, etc. It hurts everybody, the men who can't get these jobs that they want, the kids who don't get to interact with men as nurturers. While pushing the belief that only women can really care for children with no ulterior motive. Somebody replied, I was waiting for my daughter at the arena where she was boarding her horse. It was a nice summer day and I had my camera with me, so I thought I'd get a few shots of the birds and plants and such. I was lying on my back in the grass, framing a really nice shot of a butterfly's shadow silhouette on the underside of a leaf, when a cop said to me, Sir. Apparently, paying someone $800 a month for their horse to board at the arena grants the horse moms the right to sip their Bacardi breezes, but heaven help the dad who's taking pictures of a bug. I still get so mad about that. And the worst part is having to stay calm and happy so your kid isn't scared by dad's tears. We never get compliments. In 2005, I was at my internship in Boston and a woman named Jordan smiled at me and told me she liked my shirt and that it looked really good on me. We were both dating other people, so it wasn't flirting, just a sincere compliment. I can't think of any other compliments in my lifetime that stick out like that. People say the dinner you cooked was good, or whatever, but it always kind of feels like it's something they're doing because it's expected, not because they just truly want to tell me so. Being short gets us the label manlet. I'm 5'6" inches and because of that no matter what my accomplishments are, everything is me compensating for my height. Then when someone jokes about your height and you tell them you don't appreciate it, you get an AWW, and a pat on the head. As if I didn't feel small enough. I'm always expected to keep my shit together. Being vulnerable is a weakness. Failing is not an option. I provide regardless of the state of my overall health. I'm 36, married with 2 kids. I'm also the oldest of 3 siblings, and both of my siblings are diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. I'm an attorney, and I'm always the one my aging parents go to with their own questions for elderly care and their needs. I refuse to let my parents waste away in some home somewhere, but neither of my siblings understand or are willing to do what's necessary to prevent that. My siblings are also constantly needing help. I'm the breadwinner at home and an extremely active dad. I've always just taken it in stride. A couple months ago, my kids and I watched Encanto together. I cried when Surface Pressure played. I don't even think I knew why I was crying at first. Eventually I realized that this is how I feel, all the time. I don't know if this is a specifically guy thing or not, but it's definitely how I feel. The stress of providing for your family amid all the current turmoil in the world and knowing that it's all on you whether your family has a stable and financially secure life while feeling the need to obtain a life that probably isn't realistically obtainable anymore, and every day watching the neighborhood you live in slowly get worse and knowing there's nothing you can do about it right now is overwhelming, like you can't open up. It's hard to open up about how you're feeling because it always turns out badly, so you bottle it all up inside. And then when it all comes out at once, it makes the situation even worse. And when people tell you well it will be okay, it's not helpful because as the one who has to make it okay, you need to know how to do that. Somebody replied, I agree with both the original poster and you. I had the same experience in my relationship with my ex-wife. I would commute 30 minutes to work every day, work a stressful job for 8 to 9 hours, pick up our young child from daycare, take her home, and spend the evening with her. Many nights it was just the 2 of us for dinner. I would put her to bed while the wife was working or going to school. I did most of the housework and all of the yard work. I was expected to fill all of the man roles in the household. All I ever heard was, why don't we have X? Or, why can't we do X? Other people are doing that. Why don't you make more money? Shove that. Before the end, we went to couples therapy because she was unhappy with the relationship. The therapist realized that I was severely depressed and didn't want to live anymore. I really didn't. We can't say kids are cute without being on the FBI watch list. While driving a classmate past a daycare I frequently pass on my runs, I commented that there are a bunch of cute kids that play there, just thinking it's nice there's still something good and pure in this messed up world. He started acting like I said they were sexy or something. I don't stare at anyone's kids, I'm just out for my run and looking ahead. I had to tell the guy, look, I'm almost 30, everything about my biology is screaming to make babies. So just chill, dude. Not everyone is a creep. It still made me feel bad the rest of the day. Somebody replied, the worst thing for me is how people look at me when I'm around kids. My next door neighbors are lovely people and they have 3 kids. 7, 9, and 11. The kids love to play soccer or football or frisbee, and sometimes when I get home from work, I'll go outside and play with them. It takes a village and all that. They have a 5-year-old cousin who is over often. She loves to get carried around and play with the cousins. When I'm around those kids when their extended family is around, the extended family looks at me like I'm a pedophile. The kids run up and hug me and stuff and drag me outside to play with them. The scorn and disdain from the aunts and uncles is profound. And then they'll hear the kids call my name, and they'll be like, oh, that's you. They talk about you all the time. And it's suddenly okay. But those looks I get bug me. The initial reaction of other adults is to assume that something evil and disgusting is happening, as though their parents would just let that happen. It just sucks to work hard trying to be a good human and have people look at you like you're the lowest of the low. Somebody replied, people forget that sometimes it's good to have an older male figure around. I used to go and babysit with my wife from time to time back in college when it was slightly older young teenage boys because I could help channel their energy better. Stuff like playing Halo together tuckered them out fast and kept them safe until parents were back. Dating and having to initiate everything with women sucks. I might just say sod that and not try to find anyone. I'm starting to think that staying single is a better life. People look at me weird when I tell them I'm single by choice. I had a girlfriend for 5 years, and now I've been single, by choice, for 5 years. My general demeanor and headspace is in a wildly better state in one of those scenarios. Can you guess which is less stressful? People can't seem to grasp the idea that I'm happier alone, and that I'm missing out on life, or some other dumb reasons. Somebody replied, this is so crazy and it's not even my problem. I'm gay. A very close friend of mine is one of the worst when it comes to initiating anything with women. He has a tight-knit circle of all male friends which are also as bad as he is in that department, so there's never a fresh female face in the group. Ever. He asked for my help with this, but I don't know anything about straight relationships at all. I thought at first that it couldn't be so different than what I do with men, but no, it's completely different. I downloaded Tinder, Bumble and OkCupid because I meet guys online too. Now my friend is definitely not bad looking. He works out regularly and is in really good shape. He has a cute face, tad bit childish but it adds to the charm I feel, rides a nice motorbike, is really good with animals. He has 5 cats and a dog. Like, the whole package, if you ask me. But it's been 2 months and good lord not even one like. None. 0. I'm definitely worse off than him in the looks department, but I have an active dating life. Men are a lot less picky than women is the only assumption that I can make. My mom died suddenly in September, and all I've wanted is for a friend to give me a hug and be willing to listen. My wife's girlfriends will, but none of my male friends will despite telling them I'm really hurting. Nobody is willing. It sucks. Somebody replied, I want to jump in here to say that I am not naturally a hugger and went most of my life not showing emotion and thinking that made me strong. Somehow I lucked into a group of dude friends who hug and share their thoughts and feelings at every meeting. Honestly, I found it a little challenging at first, but now I hug at first sight and it has literally changed my life. I guess I am saying, be the change you want to see in the world. Dudes can hug and love each other. It makes life better. Somebody replied, "A couple of years ago, I met a girl who responded to my emotional vulnerability with compassion, understanding, and trust. She says that my soft heart is one of the things she fell in love with. We got married not long after. Last year October, my older sister, my closest friend since I was a child, died suddenly to COVID. I was devastated. If I didn't have my wife and her supportive family, I don't think I would have survived it. I still have moments where it comes back and I start to break down. Whenever I do, my wife is always there to hug me, reassure me and help me through it. My mother-in-law has done the same when my wife was at work. I am a tremendously lucky man. I'm a fan of role reversals for reasons like this. It's a wonderful movement, and my relationship solidly fits there." Physical harassment and physical assaults are usually seen as a joke or not taken remotely serious when you're a guy. I've been harassed and assaulted at work, and told lucky guy. Or they're old enough to be your mother, take it as a compliment as if that makes the situation better. In the end, honestly, if you're a guy and made uncomfortable, it's too bad, so sad, move on. When I approached management about it, I'm just told, well, let's make it a clean slate and move on. What? They literally grabbed my ass? Even when a staff member does it, it's just completely fine? Men aren't normally seen as victims. We're just expected to not be or to not be affected by it. This really bugs me. I'm a father and apparently that means I'm a bumbling idiot when it comes to my kid, even though I've changed as many diapers as her mom and stayed up with her all night several times. I even took 3 months off work to spend time with her when she was a baby. I'm not great at doing hair, but I can put it in a ponytail. Fathers aren't morons when it comes to their kids. I can raise mine as well as any mom. Somebody replied, "I just learned that I'm going to have my first baby a few months ago and decided to buy a few books to learn what I'm in for. Every single one feels like I'm being talked down to by a stranger. The trope that I'm just a bumped head away from being fully mentally incompetent is infuriating." Thanks for listening. I hope the posts in this video make you think and reflect. Stay tuned for more tailored Reddit content.